a switchblade, kid.
Almost like Jay White.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey.
That one's actually working.
I almost fucking cut the show.
Whoa! Bury Jay White! Shout out.
What happened to that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
I
supposed to be the
gonna
next big thing, like Brock Lesnar.
He's also amazing.
He is really good. I like
Every time he's on stage, he's on screen or whatever. He's incredible, and
I know.
forgot
I
him.
kind of buried him. It's unfortunate. You know?
We got a lot of big players over there.
They surely do. They
Hard to fit in.
surely do.
I mean, that's a problem in a lot of places, I guess.
It surely is. And we're going to get into that right now. Welcome to the SVW Podcast. My name is Roman. I'm here, as always, with Heck,
Here.
Woody,
Yes, sir.
and Gunky Mane, a.k.a. The Gunk.
What's going on?
Wow, we got the original lineup back this week.
Wow.
OG lineup for the first time in several weeks.
It's like when the Shield reunited.
What,
What
with
shit? The one
Hikaleo?
with Hikaleo or?
The one with Hikaleo. Sick.
I
Well,
don't.
that one hasn't debuted yet. I
Not
can't
yet,
reunite.
but it's only a matter of time.
Does that mean one of us is gonna get leukemia?
Oh, God! He already got to fucking go there. Listen, we
Shot
got a
one.
big...
Either leukemia or really bad teeth. One of the two.
Jesus.
Well, I got the teeth covered.
Yeah, we got...
Heck, the veneer king over here.
There you go. We got a big episode, as always, for you guys this week. We're going to recap Money in the Bank, as well as the twists and turns that ensued. What did you guys think of Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view overall?
It was solid. Predictable. Literally called every match. But it was good. Decent. Yeah, wasn't disappointed.
I like when pay-per-views make me feel smart. Yeah, it's fun. Just like nailed it, cool, nailed it. Yep,
I do agree with
go
that.
to sleep.
Going to sleep.
I thought it was a pretty decent pay per view. Yeah, like I feel like I keep ranking these WWE pay per views the same, but like that at least shows consistency. I keep ranking it like a C plus B, but that's fine. I mean, that's better than it has been forever. So like I'm cool with
Consistency
it.
is awesome because all you gotta do occasionally is pop off, and you're like, this is fucking
Yeah.
great. Like the Raw.
Actually, it's a very strategic business move because if you're pulling at AEW and it's just constantly
Where consistency is your enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
because you have to live up to a fucking Dave Meltzer 5-star match every single pay-per-view.
I was going to say, C's get degrees, you know what I mean? And that's what WWE's doing. Maybe a little higher than that. Maybe B's get degrees, but, you know, whatever.
D's get degrees.
If you're enjoying the
too,
story,
I don't think they do.
You know what they
enjoy
say?
the ride.
F's
Exactly.
get... No, you can flunk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, D's
Okay.
get effed.
Shut up. God, you're the
Hey, yo.
worst. You're the worst person ever. And then, of course, after Money in the Bank, we had a pretty exciting episode of Raw.
Honestly, yeah, that Raw was like, it's like, damn, they kind of really pulled out some stops for that one. That was
Best
that was
one
big
in a while, in like a little
In
bit.
a
Not
while.
that, and we were talking about this before the show. Like, it's not like I watch Raw and I'm like, man, this sucked.
Except
You
for
know
the
what I
finish.
mean? Well, yeah,
Finish. I was very
I know.
sleepy after.
I mean, I'm
Agree
sure.
to disagree.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say this is
Yeah.
about to get crazy over here. But yeah, like, you know, I've never watched Raw and I'm like, man, that show sucked. But sometimes I'm like, man, that show was really good, as opposed to the other episodes that are like, yeah, that was good.
There was a lot of episodes of Raw where I was like, I wish I had that 2 to 3 hours back in my life.
True.
Like,
I'm like, I wish I didn't like wrestling.
I could watch it. I'll watch it tomorrow.
You know, I'd be so much more productive if I didn't like wrestling.
It's the cross we have to bear. It's the cross we all
I
have to
could be
bear.
doing math problems. I
know.
could be
Damn.
reading a book.
Calculus.
You're doing just math.
You're not
problems. You're
doing
just
math
like-
problems. You weren't doing. If Raw was not
Imani,
on, you
quiz
still
me.
would
I'm
not
gonna
be doing
get
math
to the
problems.
100th number of pi.
This kid would not. This kid doesn't know what pi is.
A banana
The
cream,
poontang pie.
Poontang pie,
apple.
yeah, he knows poontang.
Yeah,
That's all he
poontang.
knows.
And then of course we have some light controversy down in NXT with Mariah May's new name.
They gotta start fact checking these names before they roll them
Somebody
out.
has to.
This is not the first time they've done this.
They're like, all right, we're debuting this new guy. We're
Why-
calling
why
Ron
not-
Jeremy.
Why not? Why not just let her keep her? It's her real name.
I don't know.
I got a funny Ron Jeremy story if you needed to know that one.
Please,
real life
hit me.
experience.
Yeah, I want to know that.
My wife made out with Ron Jeremy.
Shut the fuck up. That's crazy.
My wife made out with Ron Jeremy back in the day. He was in for a convention. She didn't know who it was.
How back in the day?
back in the day, but before he got canceled.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then he
got canceled.
Yeah, he was like a notorious rapist.
Yeah,
I mean that checks out. He looks like it.
Exactly.
100%. I'm just saying.
And then he invited her back to the room, and she declined. And because once again, she didn't really know who he was. She just knew he was famous. She knew he was in Boondock Saints.
That's
oh my god.
I met him one time at the Rainbow Room in LA, which is like the place where they're like, hey, if you want to meet Ron Jeremy, go to the Rainbow Room. And that was not how it was proposed to me.
I was about to say, so you were like, oh, I got to go to the Rainbow Room.
I found it out. I found it out later. People were like...
The name of it, the Rainbow Room.
That's where my dad ran into.
And you're going to run to see Ron Jeremy.
That's an infamous spot, though. That's where like Lemmy from Motorhead used to hang out. Like, that's like the metal bar in LA.
My dad went there. Like, it was for my sister's wedding. We were all in LA, and my dad was like walking around. He like went in there, and he saw Ron Jeremy. Made my mom take a. Well, no, they were actually driving.
And made
home.
your mom hook up with him?
No, that'd be insane. No, we were driving.
Your dad cucked.
They were.
We're already so off the rails. Jesus
they were
Christ.
driving. They were driving down the street, and my dad's like, "Pull over, and like made my mom take a picture of him and Ron Jeremy.
It is like
he
an
was such a
infamous
huge
venue.
deal back in the day until shit
He
came
was
out
a
about him.
huge deal.
Fucking
He was the total pack.
He surely
fucking
was.
yeah,
It's
total
like Lex
package
Luger.
is right. Fucking what a hog on that guy.
For real.
He looked like Super Mario Bros, but he's fucking got a hog on him. Crazy.
Pulled out that Bowser.
Yeah, for real. And then, of course, before we get out of here, we got some quick hits. But we'll start at the top of the card. Money in the Bank. First up, men's Money in the Bank ladder match. What did you guys think?
They had some awesome spots.
Yeah.
I just want to say Chad Gable, but Grande Americano spot.
See that gash on his back though?
The Domino's ladders.
Oh yeah.
That shit was so cool. That I love when they do stuff like.
Oh yeah.
You watch how many ladder matches have you seen? And when you see a spot, you're like, I don't think I've seen that version of that before.
Yeah.
That's
They
awesome.
climbed up, rode one ladder to the other ladder.
Poor
Everybody
Andrade.
kept pulling out the big ladder, the fireball ladder.
Oh, yeah, the fireball ladder.
That's so bad.
The Gilmans were pissed
Why
about
couldn't
the
it?
fireball
Also, why
ladder.
couldn't they just be Slim Jims all the way up? Just like big ass Slim Jims.
It's crazy to me. I remember when
would be
Fireball
cool.
first came out. It was like the greatest thing. Like I remember getting so fucked up on Fireball so many times.
Love a little
I
fireball.
And they're trying to have like a resurgence with like this like Gen Z or something.
Listen,
now.
once in a while, you know what? Once in a while, a very while, I'll have a little fireball, and I'm like, damn, this stuff is
You get
Spicy
a
cinnamon.
Fireball Manhattan.
no, but
Done
that
it? You
sounds
call it a
good.
911. Pretty good.
Oh my god.
Ooh, wow.
If you order
Wonder where
that
that
at a
drink
bar,
came
do you
from.
think people will be pissed?
Well, I ordered it at bars during St. Patrick's Day when everyone's ordering Irish car bombs, and you're like, "That's insensitive. I'll take a 911."
Yeah, that's
Imagine
true.
you go to like Saudi Arabia and ask for a 911.
Yeah, I mean they're like,
They're like, oh,
It's on the house.
Yeah. and I know I wasn't here last week, but I want
You
to
were
just
missed.
I want to
Oh.
I want to voice my displeasure with the branded weapons. I think that's the fucking dumbest shit ever. So yeah.
Is that like the Fireball ladder being a branded weapon?
Yeah, bro. It's already a stretch that all these fucking various items are under the ring, and now they have branding
they
on
got
it.
But
toolboxes. They
also
got-
now, wouldn't it make more sense if they're branded than under the ring? Because like Fireball's like, hey, I'm gonna pay for a ladder, put it on the ring. I hope you guys use it.
there was
Right.
two of them.
So now
'cause
there's
one
a
broke.
reason.
Now I'm still under the impression that all that's like stage equipment. Like they needed the ladders to like if it's a ladder match, then yeah.
But it's gonna be amazing if someone takes like a Tampax chair shot. You know?
It's got to be
Yeah.
during a women's match.
No, it's got to be for a men's match, even better. It's like
I'm trying to think of other good ones.
Well,
Maybe
like
like
a-
busted open and they soak
Maybe
up
like
the
a
blood
blue
with it.
chew kendo stick. Like maybe you can get this fucking firm. You know what I mean? Maybe something like that. Yo, WWE, hit me up. I would 100% set up your product placement.
Yeah, go ahead.
that's for giving shots. That's
Yeah.
what those kendo,
Yeah.
those blue chew kendo sticks are for.
Yeah, and like back shots. They start giving them back shots, and like you want to give back shots like this. Eat a
Hey,
blue
yo.
chew.
What the? Okay.
What? Come on, come on, man.
Yeah, I thought the men's was pretty good. How did you guys feel about the result?
Oh, it was exactly what it's. So, this is difficult because I feel like it's what it needed to be. It's what made the
Yeah.
most sense, and it's also an absolute waste of a briefcase.
Like you're just watching
Right.
it, waiting for interference.
And this, to me, feels like the most Triple H thing we were talking about. He doesn't like Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So waste the briefcase, give it to Seth, who, if Seth wanted a championship match,
he's an event. He's a main event caliber fucking superstar.
He would walk up to Adam Pearce and be like, "I want a main event."
I'm Seth
match.
fucking Rollins,
and they'd be like, "Okay, which one?"
I think he'd say, "I'm Seth fucking." He wouldn't even say freaking. I think he'd be like, "I'm Seth fucking Rollins."
Depends if it was Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah,
I would have liked him to. I'm not mad that he won. We knew it was going to happen, but we'll get a little bit into more into and talk a little Raw stuff. But I would have liked Jay to keep, and then that's where he takes it off of.
I don't know. I don't know if Seth goes after that belt.
Yeah.
He already had it. I don't want to
he goes after Cena's?
He already had that belt.
Team Rollins versus Team Cena. Survivor Series.
Well, I'll tell you what, Solo had me going there.
Who's with like Cena? Logan Paul and freaking
Rollins. What? Rollins has a year, right?
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't take that long.
And what? Cena's last match is when? He has what?
December.
Yeah. Okay, so then somebody could take it off Cena, have it for a good run, and then Rollins could take it off of him before the next. Oh, and Money in the wait. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, is it till the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then they get they don't. Then it's not a year anymore. Money in the Bank is moved to August. They get way more time now.
Plus? Wow. I don't think
if
I feel like,
or if they're gonna hold it to the year standard, then it's 365.
I think they hold it to the year.
Yeah. I think Triple H does it.
Also, there's no way Seth holds it for that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Notoriously, doesn't like the pay-per-view Money in the Bank. So I feel like it's a short.
My whole point was just saying that Cena could drop it either back to Cody or to somebody else, and they could have a decent run before Seth cashes in, and then still, you know what I mean? Like that's plenty of time, like timing wise. You know what I mean? I don't think Seth will cash in on Cena. I think Cena is a heel. I think Seth is a babyface. I mean, I think Seth is a heel. I think they're both working heel. I think it's kind of confusing.
I kind of agree with you, but I still think he cashes in on that belt.
Yeah, for sure that belt.
Cashes in on Cena.
I don't see him holding world heavyweight again. I mean, maybe down the line, but like not anytime soon. I think he wants to stay out of that division. He just got out of it.
But that is okay, because that's the Raw title essentially.
There is no. I mean, he can do whatever he wants right now.
I think
there's going to be a draft again soon. So
that's where I was kind of going with that. Like, when's the draft? But I keep seeing a draft. They're looking at fall.
But I don't even think Seth was the biggest winner of that match. I think that
Andrade?
No, that's Andrade's future children are big losers on that one. That was.
I'm interested to hear who you say.
Best spot.
I think Jacob Fatu was the biggest winner of that match. I think he's the one that came out with the biggest oh shit!
I hate
this dude.
You.
Yeah, dude is about.
I think that was
to go nuts.
I think that was the worst face turn I've ever seen in my entire life. And I love Jacob. Like I did not want to hate it. I did not want to hate it. Everybody involved is great. Everybody involved is great. I love the Bloodline. I love everybody involved.
Why did they stop calling themselves the Bloodline?
It's confusing because there's the OG.
Solo had some great spots. Like
Solo was amazing.
His little he got a little
mocking
comedy
everybody's
coming now, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny. Like I see.
They're like, Solo's getting too funny. We need to turn our truth back around.
Because he's always been low key funny. He's always remember when he was like
Jimmy.
He's
Jimmy's
been funny since he was a young boy. You ever seen his tweets? He's like, I hate math. He's like, math sucks.
Remember the thing where he's like, you come out here and yeet. Remember that was good.
Yeah, and he was going in. I was like, all right, Solo. I see what you got going on here.
You know who I think the winner of the match was? And the actual entire weekend, and maybe the month.
You're gonna go with Chad Gable.
Yeah, and shoot, obviously, because he's El Grande Americano.
Whoa!
Hey, come on
allegedly.
now.
Well,
allegedly.
This is behind.
Well, they messed up because you can buy El Grande Americano stuff on WWE.com now.
Yeah,
and it says under Chad Gable.
Oh,
wow! I was like, wow.
Well, but yeah, regardless, I mean,
website
dude,
keep kayfabe.
That fucking guy.
Oh, he's putting on just. Also, then he had a match on Monday. Like,
bro,
Saturday, Sunday, he was like, he's working all
give
weekend.
that motherfucker the World Heavyweight Championship. Give him that title that Gunther just got. And you know what? He's a little enough guy that him versus Gunther, him taking the belt off of fucking Gunther. What?
See that?
There was a
again.
time.
Watch those matches.
There was a time.
Bro, I want it.
I don't see it happening now. There was a time.
I want it.
When he was Shorty G. No.
He proved himself against he did Vikingo and then the Money in the Bank in the same fucking day.
Yeah.
And that Money in the Bank match it's not like he took a break, like, for, you know what I mean? It's not like he's like, oh, I had a crazy fucking match where I took a fucking sunset pile driver on the apron, like, I'm gonna go take it easy. No, he fucking did spots we've never seen before.
He pulled the Rhea Ripley spot where he laid under a pile of ladders for 10 minutes.
Bro, took a spear that fucking broke the internet, and they didn't even capture it correctly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
the replay of that is what you got to watch. The actual live.
The actual,
bro,
live
he is the MVP. He's literally like the Kurt Angle of like his generation.
Right era,
now. Like
he's turning into it. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's the fucking
As long as
man.
he stays off the perks.
No,
Or
maybe
maybe
that's
should
what's
lean
going to push him
into
over
it.
the edge. Maybe that's what's
100%.
going to take him into main event territory.
Dude, Perk Gable is going to be crazy.
Perk
Gable, let's go.
Get that man a script and a fucking mouth guard and send him out there.
You got to
please.
start like a Hitman style, like dosing
Shaved
his
his
drinks,
head.
so he doesn't even know he's
100%.
turning
Yeah,
into Perk
that's
Gable.
true. That is
No, I
true.
think the perks actually is what made him lose his hair.
I think American Made would be down for that job. They're not
I
doing
thought
anything else.
I thought he'd just been shaving it since that edge spot.
Since the hair
Yeah, no, he
match,
did.
Yeah, I think
Because he was
he's
already
just
losing his hair. I
shaving
think he
his
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was decent. It was a good
Yeah,
match.
I wasn't
Yeah.
seriously
Edge's
saying
spot.
the perks made him lose his hair.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't seriously. I was saying that he's been shaving his head bald since that edge spot to keep kayfabe.
Yeah, except for that one time in TNA where he let it grow out a little bit and it was all gray.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looked like all fucking disheveled, and we were like, oh.
Yeah.
But he was still kicking ass, though.
Well, what about the women's?
I personally enjoyed the women's a little bit more than the men's.
It was great.
Not
great
on
match.
a pervy level, but like
But
I mean,
also-
when Rhea Ripley got the
Yeah, the
Devil's Kiss
Devil's
yes,
Kiss.
yeah.
oh, that
On the
was
fucking ladder.
on the ladder bridge. What
But it was
if
like
what if we Devil Kiss on the ladder bridge?
What if we?
well, we got the double on Triple A main. Her and got the hiccups. Lola Vice. Devil's Kiss at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, then I perved a little bit.
Right.
That's why you got it out of your system earlier.
But there was a couple like when they couldn't get the ladder to fold down when Rhea was like laying in the ladder.
Yeah.
I was like, oh come on.
Well, I mean, that's another example of like, holy shit, like what a goat, Stephanie Valcour, like
she had
wrestling twice.
Wrestling
SmackDown,
twice.
SmackDown on Friday, AAA, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
The-
and I mean,
Money
like,
in the Bank.
I'm not gonna give her
I think
as much.
I think she had 3 matches in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I'm not gonna give her as much praise as Chad Gable just because his performances were just, and that's not even shitting on her. It's just like it would be insane to live up to. He's just a beast.
He
He's
made
a,
event against Vikingo. Yeah, you can't half-ass that
Yeah.
spot.
yeah. So, but regardless, it's like, yeah, like I mean, I think these should be big eye openers, and I think it already is. I mean, she's getting pushed to the fucking moon. They made her drop the NXT title just so they could put her on main roster. That's how hot
Yeah,
she is.
And Julia's gonna get the U.S. title.
That's what it's
soon.
seeming like.
Yeah.
But she is not
I feel
getting
like
treated
Julia's
well by
not
the fans.
connecting the same way as Stephanie.
Well, because they turned her
will
heel.
come around.
They turned her heel too fast. I mean,
They'll-
she was a brand new toy, and then Stephanie immediately got signed after her. Kind of took the oomph out of it, and then they had to turn her heel just so that she could drop the belt because they
But-
wanted to push her.
but
They
also
kind of
remember-
killed her momentum.
When Stephanie got signed, she was coming off that AEW pay per view.
Mercedes Moné.
So
Yeah.
she was already kind of like in the wrestling,
which is an amazing sign.
media world. You know what I mean?
It
So
is-
people kind of knew who she was. Then you see her on NXT and the Devil's Kiss and Booker T and getting that shit over and on. Where Julia didn't
actually had that.
Julia didn't have that. She just came from Stardom, Marigold, and
Yeah,
so people didn't like. If you don't watch it, you don't know who she is.
You had to be like a wrestling nerd to know how amazing Julia.
And then they were
was.
in NXT for so little, like people didn't get a chance to like learn who they are, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and like be able to get behind them. So
Totally.
I think in time she'll grow. Because I was being an hour watching, I went over hours and watched Money in the Bank, and he's like not a fan of Julia. And I was like, I just don't think you understand and know who she is.
Stephanie is definitely his type.
Yeah.
Though, too.
Yeah.
That is
And
true.
they got beef.
Shout out Al. Shout out Al. Big shout out.
But like, and I'm harping on I think what he just said about Booker T, or maybe that was
Booker T. Totally like he's has to be partially responsible for how over Stephanie Becourt is.
I'm gonna be honest, and I never, and like, except for like when he was doing comedy, like Black Snow, like that type of commentary, I always like wasn't a fan of Booker T on commentary. Like I always was just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a little too much. Like
he's over the top.
Yeah, over the top.
Over the top.
However, with that being said, I got to give him props and I got to give him credit because I feel like he's putting over a ton of young people, like Trick.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Trick, Stephanie.
Whenever I hear Trick's song and Booker T's not there, it feels like it's missing something.
Yeah,
like they have to add Booker T into the actual track.
Yeah,
you know,
no, they really should. Honestly,
they really should.
He should just be his. Honestly, they should just like they should just make him his manager, and he should just come out with him. But
yeah.
The storyline is going to be like Trick's his son, like Kurt Angle and what was it?
Jason
Jordan. Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that Trick is in TNA, he could retrace. He could retrace Booker T's steps.
He's not Booker T's
Black
son.
Snow.
He's Black Snow's son.
Black Snow Jr. Black Snow Jr.
Well, how'd you guys feel about the result in the end?
That was once again, it was perfect.
We do it.
I know you guys predicted it perfectly.
She's doing the best like work she's done.
Right.
And like she's a former champ. The glow stuff, it was fun, but it shit like that, gimmick like that gets old.
Dude, she is gonna be an absolute fucking menace.
Yes.
With this
Totally.
briefcase right now.
And
no
like,
one is safe ever.
No.
And she's gonna do shit where she's like going like she'll go sit outside probably like an IC like one of Becky's matches.
Yeah.
How
just
long
to
do you
fuck with her
think till
for
they
no
have
reason.
the
She'll probably
caution
want that
briefcase?
She'll be sitting outside the tag team. So living
exactly like
Raquel.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
To Heck's point, yeah. How long?
How long till you see it? On WWE Shop, you see the caution briefcase.
I don't know.
Soon.
It's they got to unveil it first.
And then ship it in 9 months.
Then come December, it could be yours.
I got a complaint. I'm not really like, just since we're talking about it, I'm not really that mad because like I'm not mad at either of the winners, but they're both former world heavyweight champions. They're both not old. I mean, they're both older.
You
like,
can't do anything when it comes to Naomi because she's the first black women's
sure.
Money in the Bank winner.
That's amazing.
Second black Money in the Bank winner of all time. Second to only a Big E.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because I'm thinking like Sasha Banks never made a Sasha Money in the Bank, Sasha Banks Money in the Banks.
Yeah.
They never did that. They never fucking
missed opportunity.
What the fuck?
They left
and now
Mercedes Moné on the table.
WWE,
and now she's probably Mercedes forever. Like even when she comes back, she'll probably keep that.
She'll
fucking
get the
name.
Monet in the bank.
Well,
Money in the bank.
You're
Still
right.
there. It's still there.
There we go. It's still there. It's still there. We're still on, ladies and gentlemen. We're still on.
Yeah.
Sasha, come back, or Mercedes, come back.
Sasha, come back.
But yeah, I wish it would have been. You know, what I mean. I mean that I think that just goes to show, like we said, Triple H does not give a fuck about Money in the Bank, and
you can tell because he actually did it, gave something to a person of color, so he must not be paying
That is
attention.
true.
It must have been a Triple H decision.
He was like, "Wait, Naomi's not white." Next up, we had the Becky Lira match.
It's a good match.
It was alright.
Fine.
You
Knew
guys
it
were
was
all
gonna happen.
silent. I figured that was going to be
Yeah.
the take from you.
And
gentlemen.
exactly pretty much what everybody thought. Like Becky was gonna win. Lyra's gonna like attack her after.
Yeah.
And then we get the blow
The
off
third
match, a rubber
Yeah.
match.
You know what? I tell you what.
And Lyra wins it back.
That better be a I want a false count anywhere or
Yeah,
a
cage
Hell in a
match,
Cell.
something. Right.
Yeah,
right.
I want an extreme third match.
I want
for
Buried
them.
Alive.
I want some Irish green blood.
I was
flowing.
thinking about the other day. Are we gonna get any more Buried Alive matches?
With Netflix, I
would
bet.
love-
Yeah,
I would
at
love
some
that.
point in the near future with Netflix, yeah, I bet we'll get a Buried Alive.
Like Aleister Black bring that back, maybe.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
what wrestler
Uncle-
does
You need
though.
Uncle
somebody.
Howdy.
You need somebody to have someone specific.
Uncle Howdy, Aleister Black, Buried Alive match.
Fuck yeah.
Stop playing
Sign
with
me
me.
up.
Stop playing with
SummerSlam.
me.
Put it on the
Stop
card.
playing
Book
with
it.
me.
Book it.
Aleister
Halloween
Black
hat.
needs to
Give
build.
this man the pin.
Yeah.
We need
Get
to-
this in the book.
We need to book Aleister Black a little stable though. I don't know. Maybe throw Carrion in there. I don't fucking
Well,
know.
I think they'll get there.
Get Buddy Murphy and Brody King over
Exactly.
Yeah, but
run it back.
looks like those guys are happy over there.
Yeah, they're happy.
Seems
whatever.
like it.
Brody King can do his little fucking death
I
metal
love Brody
gigs.
Brody King's the man, dude. His band is sick too. Yeah.
No pop for
I mean,
Roman's
they're
calling
good.
it.
I'm just gonna
Radio
say.
silence.
And then finally we had the tag team match with the
that
return of one R-Truth, aka Ron Killings.
That was the shits.
I was like, who is that? And then I saw his like hoodie get pulled up a little bit. You could see. I was like, oh, it's a black guy. Oh, it's R-Truth.
I mean, is this a hot take? Worst match of the night?
I don't think it's a hot take.
I don't think it's that hot of a take.
And they fucking put it in the main event?
That Acai moonsault.
Oh, yeah, no, there was good spots.
I mean,
was
Acai moonsault the Logan Paul
That's why I was
had.
like, that or the
the IC probably.
yeah,
The Dominic Mysterio.
Oh no, the
Octagon
Dom
Jr.
Mysterio match was fucking sick. We didn't even talk about that, did we?
It's 5 minutes long.
It was fucking.
It was cool that
dope.
it existed.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I wish they would have given him a little more time.
It was like
But-
Pentagon,
I
Octagon,
like quick matches.
Septagon,
Junior.
That was a speed match, right?
Octagon Junior.
Triptagon. I don't know, like
Right.
It's all these fucking shapes.
very geometric.
Dodecahedron.
This is why Gunky be doing math.
That's what I'm going in. I'm going with
Dodecahedron.
Dodecahedron Junior.
I'm gonna
I
be
mean-
circle.
Okay.
For all you squares.
Circle the third.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Like,
El
where is
Hijo
this?
del Circle.
Where do you guys think this is going now? With
Hopefully, fucking somewhere far, far away that we don't ever have to see it again. I don't think it's going anywhere.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it got
That's-
Logan Paul's first card autographs with a dual auto with John Cena.
This match was the biggest. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Especially now, with Raw. Can we go straight into Raw now?
yes,
Because with Raw happening, and John Cena's like, okay, R-Truth made me lose that match. Who cares? I'm talking to CM Punk now. And then
Just bypasses
Jey
it.
Uso, not a champion, so who cares about him?
right.
So
'Cause
Cody Rhodes has
He doesn't have a
nothing to
title
do with
anymore.
Cody has nothing
Yeah.
to do with John, and Logan Paul. Everyone hopes he disappears for a month after his match, like he always does.
Right.
So literally, that match is like absolutely fucking worthless.
Throwaway.
It was a match just to bring R-Truth back, but that wasn't even why
The
they
plan
made the
originally.
What was it? That was
No.
it was all a work. You enjoying it, brother?
Yeah, you enjoying the show?
Enjoy the show.
Because that's what we meant to do.
I was like,
it
that's
wasn't
bullshit.
work.
That shit was not
No.
how it worked out.
Do you know what this match was? This match was
1 foot tall dog
was
shit?
they
Yeah.
probably promised Logan Paul that he could have a match with John Cena, and then in his contract or some dumb
This
shit.
is the best they could do.
And then like,
This is how
and then like
made it
they saw the
happen.
loophole that it's like, well, they're both heel, and we're not going to do a heel versus heel program right now.
You didn't
so-
say have a match against.
Yeah,
You
so
said
you're
have
having a match
with.
with
You'd be
John
in the ring
Cena,
with him. Yeah.
and Logan Paul's like, okay, like that's still cool.
Right.
That's fine.
yeah,
with me.
this R-Truth bullshit of them trying to be like, oh, this is a work, and people are believing it online, and they're all idiots if you believe this is
It's
a work.
not. Yeah, it's not a work.
This is the same time people are like, this is the bootlicking mentality.
Ooh.
WWE
Speak on it, Woody. Speak
who
on
are
it.
just like, this is what they wanted to do. This is what they're trying to do. It's the same kind of bullshit with
LTST.
with the John Cena bad for wrestling, and they're like,
Boom. Speak on it.
when they're ruining wrestling, and you're like, and they're doing bad matches. You're like, no, but this is their plan. This is what they're, sometimes WWE fucks up.
Yeah.
So, and we have to hold them accountable for that, and we did in the case of R-Truth.
Yeah,
And
I
we-
think
and we got R-Truth.
I
their
think the
job back.
R-Truth thing is 100%. They fucking let him go and then realized they fucked up.
1,000%.
I do think that the WrestleMania match they really purposely tried to like make people pissed off.
But they didn't, because they even like that whole thing with The Rock not coming back.
Well,
and
I think that's a
doing
whole
it.
different. I think that's a
Listen,
whole
So
different.
that wasn't their plan.
No,
so their
yeah,
plan
yeah.
went awry, and they fucked up.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
Like,
like
they
we've
fucked
gone
up.
over this
That's what
WrestleMania
happened.
thing a million times at this point,
Yeah.
and I do
They've
tend
even
to agree
admitted
with
it. There's going
Woody.
to be a show about it on Netflix. how
I
they
do
fucked up.
tend to agree with
Dark
Woody.
Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
10 years from now.
I do tend to agree with Woody about the WrestleMania match because, like, you can't have people actually hate the product. People still have to tune in. People still
Yeah.
have to watch the product for you to make money.
There's a whole element of wrestling that you hate that's entertaining.
Yeah, it's a
It's
shoe.
entertaining hate.
You hate the heels,
but when it's
but you
not
still love
entertaining
them.
and hate, that's X-Pac heat. They
Exactly.
don't ever want that shit. They're not
No.
actually trying to do that.
Do you think that they're gonna save all the finally The Rock has come back to Las Vegas shirts for just
For
next year?
And then he won't show up again.
Just put them on a real high
That's
shelf.
why they did it. That was literally the reason they did it.
WWE's
They were
hey,
like,
can
we got to go
just
back to Vegas.
WWE's like, hey, can we just keep these like in the storage room at the stadium? Like,
Yeah. Just leave him under a stairway somewhere.
And the
Now-
Raiders are like, "This is our brand new stadium. You want to junk it up already? Like, the fuck?"
Yeah.
Now that R-Truth is back, can I give you a take that you will not agree with, Roman?
Sure.
I'm not actually that excited about this.
Okay.
I'm not a big
why?
I'm not a big Phillies fan. Not a big baseball guy.
Well, it's bullshit.
But I love the Fanatic.
love the Fanatic.
Fucking amazing. The Philly Fanatic.
Greatest ever.
He's entertaining. The kids love him. He's out there. If you go
He's
to
the
a
greatest
game,
mascot in sports.
if you go to the ballpark
You're
and he's
saying
not
comparing
there,
R-Truth as
it's
the greatest
not
mascot
part-
in wrestling.
He's
It's not.
he's lucky hip hop's
Listen,
not around
if you,
anymore.
if you go to a baseball
You got
game,
that right.
a Phillies game, and you don't see the Fanatic, you weren't really at a Phillies game.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's part of the experience. Now, if they were to tell me the Fanatic is fired,
What if he died?
if they tell me the Fanatic is fired, outrage.
Yeah.
Right? The fans bring him back. He comes
They
back.
tried to do it a couple years
If they
ago.
bring him back and say, "Hey guys, the Fanatic's playing shortstop now,"
That'd be sick.
that's an ass decision.
No,
Yeah.
You're going to ruin it.
Well,
If
Gunky,
you try to bring
you don't know
R,
about
be a
baseball,
catcher?
so
if you try to
I know
bring
about
our
baseball.
truth back as Ron Killings and put him into a serious storyline and give him like real story and real shit, I don't want to see that.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
he had
I don't
little
wanna see
Jimmy, so, he's not all there. Kind of that. Because even on Raw, he was like, when he left, first of all, when he shaved his head, I was like, what the fuck? Anytime
Yeah, that was
somebody does
wild.
that, it was like when Kyle Fletcher did it in AEW, and like, just so impromptu that it just looked like a crackhead.
Yeah, it
Like, and I'm just like,
also
bruh,
it made me
like,
Yeah, you're
focus on
doing
his
it-
hairline.
you're doing
Right,
it
I was like,
yourself.
That wasn't a
I'm
great
like,
hairline
you
to
look
begin
like a
with.
fucking,
when you're
like,
doing
nut.
it yourself in the ring, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
you probably need a mirror.
But when he left, he was
I'd
like, I'm in the seat now. You know what I mean? Ain't no more R-Truth. Ron Killings in the seat. So, a little kid quick. Like,
I wish I would have got one of those locks though if I was there. Like, yo, give me a lock.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
right.
Get it signed.
Yeah, well, that'd be
Get it authenticated. And
PSA certified.
Authenticated. It's fucking DNA.
exactly.
It is
I feel
authenticated.
like just go take it
So,
to the
yeah.
lab.
So I'm interested to see what people are like on the internet. Like, oh, what if he gets a title like now?
I don't
That'd
want
be
to
so
see
good.
that
that way.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to see him. I want to see our truth.
I do
I
understand.
loved our
where-
truth.
I do get where Woody's
He
coming
was one of
from,
my
though, to
favorite
be
parts of the
honest.
show.
Yeah, but I'm a
Ron
giant-
Killings. I'm
I'm
not
a-
sure about this guy.
Yeah, but I'm a giant TNA mark, and I used to love Ron the
Killings.
Truth Killings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to tag with
Killing
you
season.
know what you should do?
what?
You should go watch some replays.
but
I
see,
bet you that's pretty
look,
awesome.
That is true.
Woody,
But
That's
he-
what
you're
he's
doing,
53
Woody.
now.
Yeah, he can't
John,
really
it's all
work
because
as
of
well as
John
he used to.
Cena, and he's ruining wrestling. He's ruined wrestling for you. He made R-Truth turn to Ron Killings. You're upset about it. John
This
Cena
is
is
Cena's
doing his
fault.
job. It's
That
all
was
John
Cena's
Cena's
fault.
fault.
It's so
He's
crazy
ruining wrestling for you.
because that's how Triple H would spin it.
Yes.
He'd be like, actually, John Cena's booking everything now, and that's why you hate it.
I hope now that he's back to Ron Killings, they bring back Pac-Man Jones and like a throwback to TNA when they were tag team
I mean,
champions, and
that'd be
then
awesome.
Ron
but-
Killings,
Pac-Man Jones
Pac-Man
having a
Jones.
wrestling career is always the wildest fucking.
So sick, so fucking sick.
Or they could bring back Road Dogg. They can bring back their old tag
That is
team.
true.
That'd
Did you
be
hear
awesome.
that shit? Real quick, did you hear the shoot interview where he's like, yeah, where R-Truth's like, Bruce Pritchard told me wrestling is a white man's sport, and then
Yeah.
Road Dogg, I told Road Dogg, and Road Dogg was like, what the fuck? And he like freaked out and called Bruce Pritchard. And then apparently like 10 minutes later, like Bruce Pritchard called R-Truth like, yeah, sorry I said that.
That's
Like,
right.
Road Dogg's the fucking man. When I heard that story, I was like, hell yeah. He called Bruce Pritchard fucking, was like, you fucking asshole. Don't ever say
Yeah.
dumb shit like
Also,
that.
have you ever heard Bruce Pritchard talk? You could totally hear him saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wasn't
okay.
showing much brother love there.
He sounds like you
God,
have
I
those
hate you so
opinions.
much, but that was pretty good.
That
I
was
can't
good.
lie.
I was shocked
Um,
by how great that was.
Now, if we're going to talk about more controversial decisions, what about Gunther beating Jay?
Gooner.
I want to hear Hex opinion on this.
I mean, I know
Hex
his
asleep.
opinion, but I do want to hear it.
You got to wake him up first.
I was enjoying Gunther in the chase, some of his promos leading up to the Jey Uso rivalry. I was getting a little bit. I was like, oh, all right, Gunther, I see, okay. And
You were
then
coming around.
once we got into the Jey Uso kind of rivalry, like it was just losing me again, and it was just one of those matches that like I would say, like that got me to feel the way I did before, where I was like, this was boring.
Yeah.
This was boring to me, and I know you're not a huge fan of Jey Uso, but it wasn't for the lack of Jey Uso. It was just Gunther. It just doesn't
Can I tell you something?
Just do it for me. Go ahead.
I agree with you in a lot of ways. I don't think Gunther should have been the guy to take this belt off of Jay.
I'm not mad. Jay loses the belt. Cool. I'm not mad about shorter title runs. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't have that fucking 3-year title runs anymore. I'm cool with belts changing but I was done with the Gunther thing anyway. Gunther should have moved on, or you know what I mean? But is it trying to set up Goldberg's fucking SummerSlam shit?
That's what it's smelling
not
like.
SummerSlam, Saturday Night Main Event.
That is
in
making
Atlanta.
As Jay,
right.
As Jay once said,
I hope he dies.
I hope he gets killed on the way to the arena in front of his son. That's what Jay once said about Goldberg.
This one, I actually agree with the Rikishi take.
Saturday Night Main Event is in Atlanta at the end of July.
Hotlanta.
On
ATL.
That's Goldberg stomping ground.
I'm so ATL.
If we can get Goldberg's retirement match, taking the title off of Gunther.
Fuck, does the title need to have anything to do with it?
Literally,
because you got to make it a big match. You got to make it a big match, or it's not
but
worth it.
Again,
you need a title. It's Goldberg. If it's somebody's last match, that should be a big enough thing. That goes to show you how nobody gives a fuck about Goldberg. They need it.
If I were booking it, it would be, and you don't need to. It doesn't need to be a title match. It'd be Braun Breaker versus Goldberg, and I'd have Braun Breaker retire.
Yeah, but they set up the Gunther
Goldberg
thing
nothing.
Ago.
The title,
Goldberg nothing.
If Goldberg is in a match, the title should not be on the line. He's right. Because,
put him against Braun Breaker.
Yet again, we do this thing where we're like, don't we want wrestling to be maybe it could go either way? Because Goldberg's not going to win the title.
Right. And
that would be insane.
Against Gunther, who is
just
portrayed
got the title back.
This big monster of a guy.
Exactly. So why the fuck would you ever have that match?
Well, unless they gave Vince the book again for a weekend.
So
I like Goldberg. I'm not mad at him.
I like Goldberg when I was 15 years old.
I'm not
this
even,
anti-Semitic
it's
take
not.
here is
I'm just saying that it's bullshit when they book a match where you very clearly know who the winner is going to be.
Even people,
it sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, LA Knight versus Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. Everybody knew who was going to win.
What if
and
Goldberg?
To be fair, anybody against Roman Reigns during that period.
That's what I'm saying.
What if Goldberg beats Gunther for the title and then Seth cashes in?
No.
Would that make you happy?
No. Okay, that I maybe would take that, but I still wouldn't be happy
Gunther
about it.
Win the title and then get retired.
It's one thing for Gunther to lose to Jey Uso, who people argue literally it's like a 50-50 split where, you know what I mean? People love Jey Uso. People hate Jey Uso. Not hate, but you know what I mean? Don't feel like he's main event Jey Uso.
Some people.
Yeah.
Jey Uso.
But it just somebody else. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's killing me is that now that
even Gunther, even people who were Gunther fans before were his last run
wasn't great.
Was ass.
Yeah.
And now they're I'm hearing
don't
word,
run it back again.
I'm hearing word that so what if Sammy wins King of the Ring and we get Sammy versus
Gunther?
My
God,
yeah.
bro!
I don't
please.
And you said Chad Gable.
There's so
earlier.
many new rivalries that Gunther can get involved.
I don't want to
because Gunther had 3 matches over and over again in his title reign and. We're just gonna run those 3 matches back,
bro.
Right.
Chad Gable fucking put on bangers with him. Sami Zayn put on snooze fest, bro. That match at Mania sucked dick.
When you were talking about Chad Gable earlier, I was have Chad Gable to win then. You know what I mean? That was the moment when the momentum was there.
Yeah.
He over literal David versus Goliath situation.
Yeah, way better.
We're now I just it's become more
the David versus
he's just become
Goliath.
a mid-card workhorse.
David versus Goliath that's a weird.
I just
Goliath
can't-
was huge, David was small, but David had a weapon.
Prime example. If
I saw Americano, he got a freaking plate in his head.
If I saw David versus Goliath on the card, I'd be pissed because that's one guy where you're everybody knows who's going to win the title between those two if they really had a shoot fight.
Yeah.
So why are we doing this?
But if David brought a sling with a rock,
if David has a metal plate in his mask,
exactly,
it's like bringing a gat.
You have Goliath job to David, and it's
basically Giant Gonzalez.
Exactly.
Yeah, how much do you think the promoter paid Goliath
To take the fall?
I think they worked for
take the
free
pin.
back then. I think the Carney, whatever Carney hired them, I think they got
with
scammed.
the new AI shit. There's like, you ever see the new videos where it's like Genghis
Yeah.
Khan, but like you got like an iPhone
Yeah.
and he's like
It's like Moses'
risen
vlog
up.
when
There's
they
one
like
with
crossed
like
through
David
the
and
ocean.
Goliath. He's like, yo guys, I'm about to, you know what I mean? Like take this
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
guy down.
you thought
like,
Brown John was confused before with like
Oh,
John
man.
Cena's
Man.
dead Facebook post. Wait till he sees like
The
Andre
new
the
AI
Giant
shit.
make a selfie like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at Saturday night's main event."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, did you hear Andre the Giant's gonna fight Gunther at the next pay per view?"
See, that's a dream match right there.
But yeah, he's
yeah.
just boring to me. Like, nothing leading up to this was, and like what he said, like we keep getting the same rivalries. He spends the same time, all this time with these same people. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, anybody else, I wouldn't have been that mad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we move on from Raw, we had one more return. Nikki Bella returned to Raw. What'd you guys think of that?
A pretty decent segment with Liv. Got laid out, took a nice little oblivion, talked their little shit. I mean, I don't know. Is this setting up Brie to come back? It does not seem like it based on her
team match.
Bella's versus.
It doesn't seem like it based on her standing with her husband. And it almost seemed like she was going to make an
You see
AEW
Odyssey
appearance
Jones
at one
post?
point.
He was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
guess
was
it doesn't matter. It
crazy.
doesn't matter. It just matters who does it." Because she had all that shit with her ex-husband.
Yeah, she got the shit beat out of her by her husband, and Odyssey Jones got accused of.
Well, I thought she was the one.
No, bro, she called the cops on him. She like got the.
Yeah, but there's a thing where people were saying that he was the ex-husband. Now is saying that she actually
She was
abused
the
him.
aggressor.
But it's all like
I mean, she went to the hospital, right?
it's all fucked up. The whole
And then
thing is
Odyssey
fucked up.
Jones shit.
I mean, if you
it
go-
came
it-
out that he didn't even do it.
If she
Right.
went to the if she went to the hospital and had injuries, then
Speaking of tags, you think that's why I've been seeing like the last few days part of Jay losing is they're going to put the Usos back together
I hope so.
and possibly give them like a run.
I'll tell you
Maybe
what,
they
that-
take the
that's-
tag
feels like
titles
it.
off
yeah, that's
of.
Woody's. That's all Woody's ever wanted. He's like,
The Usos run back against the New Day. That was a great rivalry.
Put them on
I mean,
SmackDown.
no,
That's
Put
what
'em
I
in the
feel like. I
SmackDown
feel like
tag
that
team
rivalry
division.
really boosted both their stock, and like the tag team's kind of sucking right now. So like,
Yeah.
Whoa. The tag team is on its way up, and it's better than it has been in years. It is like it is fine.
the teams are there. It's just the booking ain't.
Yeah, they're putting the effort into it finally, and I
Thank
agree.
God.
Put the Usos back together.
I know you agree.
Day one penitentiary.
Yeah, down since.
Two half wrestlers make one great wrestling
true.
team.
We got to speak a little bit on CM Punk
Going to
coming
Saudi
out.
Arabia.
Yeah.
After talking all that shit.
and now
believe-
now look who's sucking
I
the
was like, he's
blood
gonna-
money covered dick.
Ah, man, I literally have the tweet pulled up. So
Oh really? Oh wait, somebody
No.
tweeted that.
No, I was
Didn't
just
John
I'm saying,
Cena
I wasn't
post
I
it?
wanted to
No
say
tweet.
word for word.
Oh
to get
okay,
it-
yeah,
get
pull it,
right.
say it.
Yeah, no, you got it, man. And plus, he calls him a fucking dork.
Yeah, go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork.
Wait, who was that at?
That was
at The
That was
Miz.
the Miz.
Wow.
That's what he said about this. And now, if he wants a title shot, he's gonna have to get on his knees.
How the tables turn.
That was so funny because that was like when he was working for Fox, right?
When he said that
Yeah.
shit, like when
Also,
John
he's
Cena was like,
working
"You
for
want a
Fox.
match?
yeah, you're
Come see me at
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia." And I was just
100%.
like, "Oh, that was good."
like was
Little
he
Pepsi
Yeah.
Phil.
was he sitting next to Rupert Murdoch when
Well,
he fired
and also,
off that tweet?
I'm a Punk fan. I'm a Punk fan, but he like. I also do find it really funny that he's like one of the most like vocally active, like pro LGBTQ, which is like good for him. Like you know what I
He
mean. Like
does.
that's
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
great like
Yeah.
whatever.
One
you
of the
know
few
what I mean?
things I
Pride
don't
Month,
dislike
isn't it?
about him.
But I don't know if you remember, for him to be so crazily about that. But one time, some fans were like recording him in the
I know what you're gonna
crowd,
say.
and he was like, "You homo!" He's like
Yeah, I
calling the
remember
fans a homo.
One of the things I do hate about Punk is I believe most of these things that he does is performative.
You think he's getting fucked up behind the scenes?
I don't believe in his.
He's getting hammered.
He's getting
backstage.
hammered. when
I
he's-
don't think he's earnest. I don't think he's true to himself. I think he has a.
It's
I
all-
think he's
it's all a
kayfabe.
show all the
Yeah.
time.
He's got a character that he portrays.
Interesting.
And his
Because I
character
honestly
is
would.
this like, oh, I'm this guy who
Interesting.
like loves people. Blah blah blah.
I really.
He's the cult
I
of personality.
really disagree. I feel like
The
he's
voice
legit.
of the voiceless.
no.
I mean,
think
he's got
Maybe
Roman
not the.
fooled.
Maybe
we'll get
not
into
the.
it a little later in the quick hits when Matt Riddle, you're not the
True.
only one that feels that way, Woody.
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah.
And Matt Riddle, he ain't never done anything wrong. So I got that guy on my
No,
side.
he put his dick on the internet. But
Swinging his dick around
what good
and
company
doing
to
some
keep.
E.
Yeah, he slung his dick on the IG, but
I
did the
dapped him
helicopter.
up. I dapped him up in Vegas. It was pretty sick.
that's pretty sick.
After he did the helicopter.
Yeah, helicopter.
It might have been.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna
I
have
don't
to see.
care about Nikki Bella being back. Just to throw that
Yeah.
out there.
I know.
It's a fun thing when people like that come back, but then you forget that she sucked at wrestling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like she got a lot better over her
Uh-huh.
years. And when she was at her best, she sucked terribly.
Damn.
And I'm not excited to see a match. Like when Trish came back, at least like Trish could wrestle.
I'm about to
Yeah,
say, 'cause
Trish could
it's
work.
just a different era in wrestling when you see like these certain female wrestlers, and it just isn't like trying to be sexist or nothing. Just the way they were portrayed before, and
Yeah,
like the level
100%.
of their talent
She
that
wasn't
needed
an
to be.
athlete. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
now,
it wasn't
now,
like-
now the female wrestlers are like
Athletes.
can go with the
Yeah.
men.
Also,
if not better than some of the men.
They,
I
a lot of the
wanted to throw
time they
my
were
t-
kind of booked to fail back
I wanted
then.
to throw my TV out the window when they had Io Sky. Be like, thank you for like blazing the trail or whatever.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, Io Sky started wrestling before Nikki Bella.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Io Sky started wrestling 6 months before Nikki Bella started wrestling.
crazy.
Speaking of Io, did you
She's
see
been doing it longer. Blazing what trail?
Yeah.
They teased, or not even teased. They told us Oscar's back next week.
Yes.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
in the
that's pretty
most,
cool.
anticlimactic
Right,
way ever.
right. Like I was
You just
like,
saw a
that's-
picture of her in the.
That's
in
it.
The, like
Yeah.
the first time they showed it, there was just a picture of her in the tournament of like.
I was
oh,
like,
and
wait,
Oscar's
way to
doing this
ruin that
tournament.
surprise.
Yeah.
I would have like just
Well, that was like when they
She better
liked it to be a
fucking win.
surprise.
yeah. It's like how they announced that
better go to
Julia
the
and
finals
Stephanie
at least.
Vaquera
Well, no, she
were
better advance.
brought up.
Oh yeah.
Like Adam Pearce was just on Instagram that was like, and he was like, Julia and Stephanie Vaquera are officially on the main roster. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we got.
Well, yeah,
They're supposed to be like
Way
a
to
draft
break
or
the
whatever.
news.
Yeah.
Before we move off of Nikki Bella, just a fun fact. I thought her finishing move, the rack attack,
Rack attack.
I thought they just called it that because she had some honkers on her.
So that's not.
And it took me a while until I'm like, oh, it's a torture rack.
No,
Like,
The
but it's
funny
also
part-
because the honker.
It's
Yeah, I think
I was
that's,
gonna say
I think
like
that's part of it. I think
It's not.
you
It
were
wasn't
correct.
not because of
Right,
the.
exactly.
right,
Exactly.
but I was like, they called her that because I was
especially
like,
because you got the boob job, Bree didn't.
Reed in it.
well, they had to
Yeah.
be able to differentiate them.
Yeah, that is
The
true.
rack attack.
You know, the
that was
giant
definitely a tit
fucking
joke.
nose.
Damn. Wow, just
Yeah, wait,
burying
cut that
what
out. Yeah,
was.
cut that out. That's so fucked up. There's no reason I should
no,
have
it's
said
okay.
that.
Leave it in.
Okay.
Leave it in.
Well, next up, we'll move
You
on.
can't get plastic surgery and they'll be like, once you open that Pandora's
True.
box, it's
We've
fucking-
talked
it's wide
about.
open.
We've done
That's
way
true.
worse to Charlotte Flair on this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's the worst thing we said.
Next up, quick NXT note. There's a little maybe lawsuit going on about Mariah May's new name, Blake Monroe,
Well,
because
originally this like cute story where
Right.
her niece is named Blake and she was going to go for the Monroe style, like obviously like Marilyn Monroe, and so she combined Blake and Monroe, and she said, "Hey, I want to be Blake Monroe," and they were like, "Cool, we'll do no research on this name whatsoever, and just put it out there."
And to
Listen.
being an old school porn star. She's still
And-
active, isn't she?
Like, I think this is also she's like 40, I think.
oh really?
I don't
She's
know.
not that picture. She looks older than.
I was
40.
about to say, she's
Fuck you
40,
guys,
she's
you know,
40
you
but
know.
she's white.
She
You
looks
know,
like
white,
she was
yeah,
like,
if you don't take
"Honeysuckle
care of yourself, you don't
Divine."
age very well. Like,
She looked like she was on
Unlike-
that Honeysuckle Divine type time. Shout out
Unlike
to
more.
Brown John.
When Jordan Grace makes her debut finally, she's going to be Honeysuckle Divine.
John's gonna be pissed.
Honeysuckle Divine.
John's gonna be pissed. Like shit, I saw her on Market Street. She was shooting ping pong balls out of a what's her name?
Out of
Um,
Hoochie
Yeah, but yeah, one of those things. It's like, hey guys, maybe do a Google search
And apparently
first.
the actual chick, I don't even know if that's her real name. It might just be her porn.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
name. But like she's like sent WWE a cease and desist.
Yeah.
She filed a C&D to TKO.
I mean, listen.
You think she's just gonna take a check? Like,
Yeah, I
like
would.
I think, yo,
remember when
she-
Yeet started? Like
Yeah.
it was like indie wrestler, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Well, he
I'm
fucked
sure
up.
they threw him some bread."
Yeah.
To just
Listen,
shut the
yeah,
fuck
they
up.
just make
Niggas
that
gonna
shit
throw
go
her,
away, like,
cut her a check.
give her $1 million and be like, all right, you're get out of here.
She's been taking dicks. She'll take a check.
Damn.
Let's
When
say-
Wow.
Yeah, when
Wow.
when Brody King
fucked over by the
debuts in
man.
WWE, maybe they can make him Johnny Sins.
That'd be crazy.
This honestly, like, is a really good wrestling name.
It's a great angle. And it
Yeah.
would
Bro, all porn names.
But also,
true.
When
Ron
the first time I
Jeremy?
saw Johnny Sins, I thought it was just incredible.
Ron Jeremy sounds like a
I thought it was
shooter.
Claudio
No,
Castagnoli.
Ron Jeremy sounds like a shooter, like a Chad Gable, Kurt Angle style, like
100%.
like wrestling background, like
Yeah.
you got classic, like another one of
Was
those,
that
like
Bella
a
Danger?
Lance, be like Peter North. You know that
Yeah.
is like
Alexis,
obviously-
Texas.
I'm about to say,
Oh, bro, she's
a Bella Danger. That sounds like a wrestling name.
That's a sit. Wait,
A Bella-
are you fucking with me? Because I feel like that was a wrestler.
No, it's a porn chick.
Lana
Damn,
Rhodes. She's in the
Bro,
Rhodes.
she's
family.
in the
literally
Rhodes
could-
family.
Wrestling has more than one royal family. She comes out.
she comes out, starts taking dick.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Adrenaline in my hole.
Yeah, I think there's something here. We got to workshop that for sure.
Also,
But-
if they could keep it kayfabe, if they just put a bald guy out there as Johnny Sins, it could just be another one of the professional.
Adam
like,
Pearce.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just another one of his professions. The guy's been a doctor, an astronaut.
Yeah,
a
GM
race
of
car
Raw.
Yeah.
Brings new terms of Raw, right?
Yo, I think that's just been Johnny Sins the whole time. It's
pretty
not even
sure.
Adam Pierce.
It was like, how badly do you want to get brought up to the main roster?
Julia and Stephanie.
That was a good one.
Oh my God, yeah. Didn't they do an angle where they had like people just playing other people?
Vince,
Obama.
Oh, and say Vince McMahon did a similar angle to that for like 15 years.
Well,
I
yeah.
thought you were
That
gonna
was
say
a shoot.
I thought you were gonna say a Johnny Sins angle. I'm like, yeah, the dude's name was Val Venus.
No, they remember they had Obama, like a fake Obama, come on Raw one time.
Yeah, and he fought Hillary.
Yeah,
Or
like, that's
yeah,
so-
it was so sick. I remember watching that, and then Obama came on, and he was like,
I
"If you
don't remember
smell
that.
what Barack is cooking,
That's so
Bro,
good.
I popped so hard, bro. I was like, ah!
That is incredible.
He said, "If you smell what Barack is
what
cooking."
was the one? Didn't they have? That was in WCW. They had Monica Lewinsky.
There was a John McCain promo on Raw too. I think he's like doing Hulkamania, and it checks out. It checks
And he
out.
couldn't make fists though because of he was a prisoner of war. He
Yeah.
can't close his hands.
That was during the time where they were having all those crazy hosts. It was like Buzz Aldrin will host Raw next week. Like, shit.
Like,
Yeah,
what?
that was sick.
That was. I'm like really Buzz Aldrin. You guys got, but yeah, that shit's awesome.
Interesting time in wrestling.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see what happens with Blake Monroe, but I'm pretty sure that lady's getting a check. But look, it is almost time for us to leave, but of course we have a couple quick hits. Number one, we got the R-Truth jeans
Cop
coming
up.
out.
They're going to be going on StockX resell.
Bro, the R-Truth jeans are coming at
Bro.
you.
Gunky already ordered his.
got 3
I
on the
sent
way.
this to Gunky, and I was like, I feel like
So
this
it's
is
basically
like...
if you're not into gene culture, which just means you're like a normal person. This is like a pair of denim jeans with R-Truth really big and red down.
They're
one
from
leg.
Chalkline, too. I didn't
Well-
know Chalkline was making denim.
Well,
Why did they do denim
it's
jackets?
a
Sick.
fever dream.
yeah, yeah, that is true.
It's
They
a
make
fucking
denim
fever
jackets.
dream. The position. Well, Roman, even for the YouTube, Roman, you need to pull this up. Even for a minute for the YouTube.
It's insane.
Just for people to see, but it's fucking insane. The positioning of the letters is.
the positioning is crazy. Look, there's no space for. I thought it said something else when I saw it, and then the second T is all small, like than the big one.
It's like red and yellow,
It's
which we've
so crazy.
previously
Hogan
shit on
colors?
like multiple podcasts
Yeah.
here
Yeah,
before.
no ketchup mustard.
It's
Yeah.
just the most just like basic, like, you know, like stinky kid jeans, like in middle,
100%.
like in like high school, like the stinky kid like would always come in and he'd have like the stinky kid jeans on, like with like Skechers, you know what I mean? Like those jeans.
R-Truth jeans.
Ripping on
Exactly.
poor people. There we go.
Well, I mean, he's
Right?
describing
Damn.
himself.
Not
That's-
I
everybody's
know
born with a
plenty
golden
of poor.
spoon
I
in
know
their mouth.
plenty of poor people who smell good.
Let's talk about.
and dress well.
Let's talk about how fucked up the vertical kerning is. That's what
that
the
was
fans
I
really
was-
want
yes.
to talk about.
The vertical kerning is crazy
oh my
on
god,
these.
that'll just actually
There's
drive you
no
nuts.
space. It's a shit show. But anyway, Gunky already pre-ordered his pair, so
I got a couple
you
on
know.
the way.
You think
Yeah.
they're embroidered?
I'm
or
about to
they're
say, I'll
patched
make
out?
you a
That's screen
custom
printed
jean
for
jacket
sure.
to go with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make.
Those might be iron on.
I'm
You
gonna
never
turn
know.
one into jorts. It's gonna say R2.
That's pretty good.
R2.
Next up, allegedly, speaking of R-Truth, Metro Boomin is trying to produce a song for R-Truth.
Triple X, let it happen, man.
Yeah,
let
I mean,
it happen.
I think
it's just a money thing at this point.
totally.
Because
But
I think Triple H isn't going to say no because it's great press. Metro Boomin obviously wants to say yes.
right.
R-Truth wants to say yes. If it can happen, though, then maybe this will open up the floodgates so we can get more licensed music.
Yeah, Jim
Because-
Johnston.
No,
Jimmy J.
just get licensed music. Just have fucking professional musicians
Yeah, I would love that.
like perform music for people. Why not?
Instead of CFO.
Yeah, let's get fucking Benson Boone in there.
Absolutely.
Nah,
We
fuck
do
that
flips
guy.
off of everything.
Shut the fuck up.
That guy sucks.
And
yo.
then, I mean, I kind of glossed over it earlier, but what about Mr. Iguana?
Oh yeah,
He's like the
he's like the new Joe Hendry.
Right. I mean,
You should have
it's
Joe
kinda-
Hendry do his
he's
music.
kind of cooler than Joe Hendry.
I believe in iguana.
No, I see a major.
I want to see him fight like Gold Dust.
That'd be
I see a
Yeah.
major. No, I see a major My Way promo with him and Santino with the Cobra.
Oh man, I'm so here for that.
I am. That's sick.
Little Undertaker's gonna get her platypus.
Oh fuck!
And he's gonna
threat.
beef with the iguana.
It's a triple threat of WrestleMania.
Holy
I gotta
shit.
say,
Just
I'm
slobber
really like.
knocker.
I like puppets. The puppet gimmick is a.
I
I'm,
like puppets.
I'm on board for the puppets. I worked at a toy store back in the day.
Oh, I
the
know
amount
you
of time
did.
I spent just like hanging out with the puppets, was, was probably too much.
Some of what
He's
his
like,
closest
so what did
friends
you
are
have for lunch
puppets.
today?
He's definitely gonna get signed to NXT. They're definitely gonna push
Would he?
him.
If I would have known that, like, that's what all I needed as a gimmick, fucking yeah,
Right.
I would have puppeted long.
You could have been main eventing WrestleMania at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to him. He was awesome. He did the slam to the iguana, or somebody did the slam to the
He-
iguana.
Lindsay.
when he had the iguana pin Lindsay Dorado,
That
and
was
he was
sick,
he was
dude.
counting it, and
It
it
was
was
like you could see that Dorado was like, wait, what the fuck? And like, was like
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Lindsay
is-
Dorado with the Spanish fly,
Standing Spanish fly to the
I really
iguana.
do appreciate Lucha for that. Like, they are so able to mix all the elements of wrestling, like the comedic, the dramatic, the high flying, the skill. Like, they
Yeah.
really do a great job doing that.
Also, if we're gonna license music, can Mr. Iguana be licensed to Metallica? Get some Master of Puppets.
Yeah. that'd be-
okay. I was like, what
Sick.
song though? I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
the iguana song.
Nick Gage is gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, he surely is. No, he
I don't
comes out for
think-
whom the
I don't
belt
think Nick
holds.
Oh, yeah,
Gage
you're
gets
right,
it
you're right.
legally anyway. So
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
don't think so.
Oh no. Sting's gonna have a problem with that, right?
He does Master of Puppets?
Isn't that what he comes out to?
Sting? No.
No, he comes out to Search and
Yeah, Search and Destroy.
Wait, so who the fuck? Somebody comes out to Master of Puppets.
Not that I know.
Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's open
Mr.
business.
Iguana.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
Also,
now.
anyone that doesn't come out to it legally, I don't think they're paying licensing
exactly.
fees.
Yeah.
Right.
Sandman.
Well,
So
Next
it comes
up-
out
My
to
guy, go listen to
Pantera.
the Sandman podcast.
Pantera. The Pantera version.
yeah, he did. Next up, allegedly NWA has brokered a deal with Roku.
Not
Ice
allegedly.
Cube,
It's
Dr.
actually-
Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren.
No.
Yeah,
Wrong-
they're all on Roku now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Streaming
They're,
live.
they're having a
And
match
they
in the
still
Roku
have
City.
attitude.
Live from the Roku City. We've got NWA.
I heard Billy Corgan's in NWA now.
Billy Corgan owns NWA.
No, I heard he's in
Yeah.
like with Ice Cube and
Yeah,
the
he
Dr.
bought them.
Dre. Oh no.
Whoa. Well, yeah.
Can you
this-
say the word?
Jesus.
He can now.
Like, what group are you in?
He's one guy.
With
if
attitude.
If I saw him, I would be like,
I think
He's the wigger with attitude.
I think it's just I want everyone to know.
WWA.
Hey, Heck is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
He's allowed to make those jokes. I'm just happy that Bill Burr's brother is doing so well.
true.
That's good for him.
Yeah. Yo,
Yeah.
Bill Burr did not like that.
Billy Corgan and the
He did
brothers?
not like that. Howie Mandel had him on the podcast, and he's like, "Hey, you guys are brothers," and he was like, "Are we seriously doing this?" Like,
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Burr.
Apparently, they're gonna
Shoot
be
angry.
going up against NXT. I believe. I think they're on Wednesdays. It's going to be on Wednesdays. Don't hold me on that. I just saw
And
NW.
is it NXT on Tuesdays?
or Tuesdays? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I was
like,
gonna say.
yeah, AEW on
It's
Wednesdays.
AEW?
Are
Yeah,
they
apparently they're going to be going up against NXT. I believe.
I wouldn't do that if I was them.
I believe.
I would go
Yeah.
Thursday and go up against like
I believe in
TNA
it.
maybe?
Yeah, about to say that would be the smart thing.
Yeah. Next up, Matt Riddle shoots on CM Punk.
Yeah, he was really going in on him.
He's like, "That guy's
Yeah.
a bitch to work with."
Yeah.
All my
It's
friends there
crazy.
say it, and his only friend is Damian Priest, and Damian Priest is like, "What the fuck, man?" Like,
Is that true?
well, like, and maybe like Randy Orton.
I'm about to say him and Randy were like besties.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
gotta be.
Damn.
Yeah, but I bet like I think Randy.
Apparently,
I
he
think
was just,
Randy
like,
and
saying,
Punk
like,
are
all
like
this guy
boys
does
from
is,
back
like,
in the
Oh,
day.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think Randy probably thinks CM Punk's a bitch because he left. He
Yeah.
came back. He's probably professional because Randy Orton's a fucking
Yeah.
professional. But I don't think they're boys. I don't think they're
You
ever
might be
gonna
right.
hanging out after
Yeah, maybe
Were they gonna go get a beer together?
maybe just because of
Well,
Randy's
CM
relationship
Punk
with like.
ain't,
Yeah.
Unless
Were they
it's
going to
all
smoke
shoot.
some weed together?
or it's all work.
How the fuck is CM Punk hanging out with Randy Orton? Randy was way too cool for that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only thing going on for CM Punk is his wife.
Yeah, so they both have hot wives. Congratulations. That's all I
Right.
got. And if you're
might
that
be
famous
right.
and that rich, you don't have a hot wife, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you,
you might-
lawyer?
Right?
You might be right.
Yeah, he
No matter
said.
how old you are.
Yeah, he said he was coming at Punk pretty hard, but I guess
I side with Riddle on this one.
which is first
Riddle
time
needs
for
a-
everything.
Yeah,
Riddle
right.
needs to fucking slip him some E.
Yeah,
Then we'll see the true side of CM Punk.
right.
He needs to dose him so he has to come out of the, like right before a match, so he comes down the ring like Jeff Hardy.
And it kicks in
And
then.
just
Victory Road 2011.
Yeah.
There you go. Gunky was there.
I was there. I was the ref in that match. Actually.
Next up,
Had to call it off.
allegedly there's a new show coming on Netflix called Tuesday Night Titans about like the
Apparently it's like
background
the chick, she's like a writer for this
Yeah,
show.
she's like it's like a dramatization of like the Netflix documentary show that WWE is doing basically.
Yeah, she's like a writer, and
Sounds
she gets
interesting.
back her friend or whatever is like on the indie scene, but he's like a jobber, and she's trying to like help him like get over with like the big company.
Listen, there could
Yeah.
be,
It's like he
this
wrestles
could be
for like
good.
TNA, and she's trying to get him at WWE.
yeah.
It could be good if heels have
No,
taught me
they
anything.
need to bring back another series, season of heels.
Yeah, just bring back heels. If you guys want to do a wrestling show, Jesus
right, and then you
Christ.
can incorporate
I still never
more
watched Seals.
WWE
You're out of your
wrestlers
mind.
and
It's
talent
good?
into it.
It's so
Man,
fucking
fuck
good.
all that.
Alright,
Let's
I'll watch
let's do another.
Heels was great.
Let's do another
Yeah, I'll
season
watch
of
it.
Legends House.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
that was
wait.
the worst
Who
thing I've
would
ever
we, who would
seen.
we even bring on? Hacksaw still around.
just
Everybody's
about it.
dead. God damn
Yeah.
it!
I
It
was
would just be
gonna say.
Hacksaw in a house alone.
Well, you could do like the
It's 2x4.
just like talking to it.
no, you could do Legends House: The Next Generation. It's like Jericho, Stone
got
Cold,
dementia.
The Rock. Like I'm into that.
Yeah, you could throw Stone Cold in Legends House at this point, like with his cats. It's like, God damn.
Yeah,
He'd have to bring his cats though.
He's like,
100%.
Hacksaw dropped his fucking 2x4 on Poncho. Had to open a can of whoop ass on him.
but yeah, this show from the description I heard, it sounds interesting. So I guess we'll see. And then, of course, before we leave, we always have to end with the Rikishi report. You guys can probably.
I agree with him this time.
I know Heck does.
Oh,
Maybe
this guy's
Woody
about to have,
doesn't.
he's about to have a fucking brain aneurysm.
Because he was like, he this time he actually came with like a point. It was a very short rant,
right.
but he was just like, you know what I mean? Like Jey Uso's way more over than Gunther, sells more merch, all that, you know what I mean? All that stuff we talk about all the time, the entrance and the way everybody gets behind
go
him.
back in
And he was
my
like, back
day,
in my, yeah,
that-
it did sound like old man shit, like
Yeah.
back in my, but I mean, realistically,
if
like,
you say back in my day, you're automatically like on
Yeah.
the old head list.
But when
I
you're
also
like,
just I stopped listening to you when you say back in my day. Like,
back in my day,
the kids
we
like,
wore
I'll get on
onion
me
our
out about
belt.
that shit all the time at the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, back in our day, we used to, and they
Yeah.
were like, wow, old man. I'm
Well,
like, all right,
yeah,
shut up.
to be fair, back in your day, you were pretty fucking over with your stink face and your dancing, and you never held the fucking world heavyweight championship. So, like,
Did he ever have a chance?
He was never.
He had an IC.
He was never over the way Jey Uso, like
Yeah, no,
current Jey
no,
Uso.
too
was.
cool, too cool when that music.
I don't
popped.
know, man.
Was the worm
That
bigger
was-
than Yeet?
was the worm
Yeah,
bigger than
we've had this
We've had
discussion
this discussion before.
I think Rikishi could have been over if he would have lost like 150, 200 pounds.
But then he couldn't do
Look
the
more
stink
like
face
Jay.
again.
If
He
he
wouldn't
could
have
have
had
hit
a
the
fatty.
if Rikishi would have hit the fucking worm like Otis with his big ass,
Yeah.
he would have been.
Or if he hit like,
Oh,
he would have had. He would have taken the championship off
a
the Rock.
worm into a stink face.
or if he hit like an Uso splash.
A kip
Like,
up
you
You said
into
said
the
a stinky
you
stinky
said
worm.
the top rope splash,
Very
Give him
few
a
times.
stinky worm.
bro.
Yeah,
but
the
he used
stinky
to.
worm.
He went off the top of the cage too.
That sounds
go
like
off the
something
top of
else.
the
That
cage.
sounds back like Ron
Does.
Jeremy, a
Yeah.
stinky worm.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, off the
dude
top of the
definitely had a
cage, but
stinky
it was
worm.
kind of a cop out. It was into like a hay bale, so
Yeah, you know.
it's like a crash pad essentially. But yeah, Rikishi, chill, bro.
I also I haven't.
Your boys
I-
at the
He's
top of
just
the
keeping
card.
himself. Like we're talking about it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
He's just
we're,
keeping
uh,
fucking
And
people.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Woody, but like it's very clear who the favorite son is because you don't hear shit
Yeah, of
about
course.
Jimmy's
Jimmy,
book.
yeah.
He's not
ever.
like Jimmy never is on TV, which is true.
Never had a
Jim.
singles title. Never fucking had a singles run except against his brother. He's just never heard anything about
wrong
that.
Kid lost.
Yeah. Damn.
My baby went smell blind.
Damn.
Jimmy went smell blind because
I was sad this last time you guys sent me a screenshot of what he said because I'll never listen to anything he says. I only get
No,
my,
I never-
my
it's
Rikishi
only from
information
Twitter.
from you guys. I saw the picture of him, and he doesn't have a goatee anymore, and I was sad about that.
Yeah,
I thought, why did he lose the gimmick? Like, yeah, you gotta have the bleach blonde goatee, or you're just like, who the fuck?
Yeah,
are
Now
you?
it's just like gray.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, or bleach gray.
You're sold.
Actually, if it's gray, it'll bleach blonde even better.
But
That's
easier.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, look, that is the end of our time for this week. As always, make sure you tap in with this show, Grappling with the Gilmans. Hit us on Instagram, svw.worldwide, on TikTok, Twitter, all that.
Find us on eBay, everywhere.
Yeah, eBay, the website, everything. And that's about it for this week. You guys got anything else?
Roman is going to be eBaying his podcast used shorts, much like Joe Coffey.
Joe Coffey. Shout out
Yeah,
Joe Coffey.
Also,
all the trunks
get out of
uses
here.
on the podcast.
Yeah. Also, June 25th, 7 to 11 p.m., 2300 Arena, Sabu Memorial Service. Come celebrate the legend, the life of Sabu.
I was
If you're in the Philly area. So
Checking it out.
go check that out.
Shout out to Sabu.
R.I.P.
Homicidal,
RIP.
genocidal, suicidal.
I know. But if that's it.
That's
guess
all.
we're
We out.
We out.